Okay, so let's set the scene. You've got a devastating famine. A family's grain supply has completely run out. Their only hope for survival means a dangerous trip back to Egypt, where they have to face this powerful, unpredictable ruler who's given them one condition, and it's a condition that could tear their entire family apart.
And there it is. That was the ultimatum. The price of food wasn't just silver this time. No, the price was their youngest brother, Benjamin. This demand puts their father, Jacob, in an impossible position. A choice that is absolutely gut-wrenching for him.
So this first part of the story really zeroes in on the patriarch, Jacob, who's also called Israel. And he is completely trapped. On one side, he has the certainty of starvation for his whole family. On the other, the terrifying risk of losing another son he cherishes. And that's a pain he already knows far too well.
I mean, the situation is grim. The very last of the food they brought back from Egypt is gone. Jacob knows what has to happen. He turns to his sons and says, "Go back, buy us a little more food," but of course everyone in the room knows it's not nearly that simple. And what follows is this really tense negotiation. Jacob is just filled with despair, lashing out at his sons, saying, "Why did you do this to me? Why did you have to tell the man you had another brother?" But then one of the sons, Judah, steps up. He makes this incredibly powerful promise. He says, "I'll guarantee his safety myself. You can hold me personally responsible for him." He's basically willing to take the blame forever if he fails to bring Benjamin back. Jacob finally gives in, but he's got a strategy. He's not just sending his sons, he's sending a full-on diplomatic mission. First, a gift, filled with the very best stuff their famine-ravaged land can still produce. Second, double the silver. This is to prove they're honest about that money that mysteriously showed up in their sacks last time. And third, the thing that costs him the most, his youngest son, Benjamin. And this line, wow, it just tells you everything. It's his complete surrender to fate. It's a statement of profound grief, of resignation. He's done everything he possibly can, and now all he can do is wait, absolutely fearing the worst. The personal cost here is just immense. So, the brothers make the long journey to Egypt. They've got the gifts, the silver, and Benjamin with them. But as soon as they arrive, the story takes a turn they never saw coming, and it's terrifying. So Joseph, this powerful Egyptian ruler, sees the group of brothers, and he spots Benjamin. His reaction is immediate, and really strange. Instead of just doing business like last time, he turns to his steward and tells him to take the men to his personal house for a private meal. Now you have to understand the emotional whiplash here. To them, this isn't some welcome invitation. It is a terrifying development. Their anxiety just spikes into pure fear. Why are they being singled out? Why are they being taken to a private home? Their minds just race to the absolute worst-case scenario. It has to be about the silver, right? They're thinking, this is it. He's going to attack us, overpower us, and make us all slaves. For them, this private lunch feels like a full-blown ambush. So at the door to the house, they're frantically trying to explain themselves to the steward, but his answer just makes things even weirder. He tells them not to worry, and then he says their God, the God of their father, gave them treasure. It's supposed to be comforting, but it's just so cryptic. I mean, how on earth would this Egyptian know anything about their God? And just as their confusion is at its absolute peak, they get this one small moment of relief. Simeon, the brother who was kept behind as a hostage on their last trip, is brought out to them. He's okay. It's a little sign of good faith, but the main event, this mysterious meeting with the ruler, is still about to happen. So the brothers are led into the home of the second most powerful man in all of Egypt. They're given water to wash their feet, they get their gifts ready, and they wait for a meal that is going to be unlike anything they could have ever imagined. Around noon, Joseph gets home. The brothers immediately do what's expected. They bow down to the ground before him, showing their total submission, and they present all the carefully chosen gifts from their father, Jacob. But listen to Joseph's first questions. They are incredibly specific. He doesn't ask about their trip or the famine back home. He asks about their father. This is not just polite small talk. He has a very pointed, very personal interest in that old man. And then we see the first crack in his tough, powerful exterior. The moment he sees Benjamin, his only full brother, he is just overcome with emotion. He literally has to rush out of the room so he can weep in private. And the brothers, they have no idea this is happening. To them, he's still this cold, intimidating Egyptian lord. So after he pulls himself together,
Joseph orders the food to be served, and the weirdness just keeps on coming. The seating is super segregated. Joseph eats alone at his own table. The Egyptians in the room eat at their own table, and the Hebrew brothers, they eat by themselves at yet another table. This detail just hammers home the huge cultural divide and the formal, alien feel of this whole meal.
But then, something happens that is just impossible. When the steward shows the brothers to their seats, he doesn't just place them randomly. He seats them in their exact birth order, from Reuben, the oldest, all the way down to Benjamin, the youngest. The text says they just stared at each other in astonishment. How could this stranger possibly know something so intimate about their family?
Just when they think things can't possibly get any more bizarre, Joseph does one last baffling thing. He orders his servants to take portions from his own high-status table and serve them to the brothers.
And here is the real kicker. Everybody gets a portion, sure, but Benjamin, the youngest brother, gets a serving that is 5 times bigger than anyone else's. This is such a dramatic, public display of favoritism, but what on earth does it mean?
And that's exactly where we leave them. They're feasting, they're drinking, but they are utterly bewildered. This entire meeting has been a series of mind games. Was this whole favoritism thing a test to see if the brothers would get jealous of a favored younger sibling again? Was it some kind of coded message? Or was it just a warning of what this powerful, all-knowing ruler was capable of doing next? The mystery just gets deeper.